So yeah, it's one of those days. I've been seeing drivers doing silly things, so I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled. Because we don't know the next fit of silliness when it will commence. I've literally seen a Hummer bicycle. So I was having a problem with the mode switches on my display, and the up switch basically collapsed internally, and so I kind of jerry-rigged the temporary solution, but it wasn't a good one. And I was like, oh no, I gotta get a hold of the display, or do a repair or something. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, and, or maybe I'm forced to upgrade to the newer controller. More expense, you know, oh, all the expense. So I remembered, you know, I had a long while back I had bought a new controller, and it came with a display, but I didn't need the display at the time. So I was like, oh no, I'm never gonna dig that out of whatever storage bin I put that in. That's like the Ark in Indiana Jones in the Smithsonian Institute, you know. The National Archives, it's gone, you know. I don't know where I'm gonna find that. So I was like perpetually disappointed and disillusioned, and I was like, oh no, you know, I'm not gonna find it. This is gonna cost me, and then on top of that, to order the part, and how long is it gonna take? And it was just all the worst scenarios. So I set it aside. And I was like, well, let me work on another little distraction. I needed to fix my dad's vehicle remote. So I get a couple of tools. I pop it open and I'm like, okay, let me get the alcohol, Q-tips. I clean the contacts with alcohol. And I'm like, okay, I mean, this should work. So I'm like, let me check the battery. Maybe it was a battery issue. So I'm like, oh, okay, let me get the voltmeter off my shelf that's sitting on top of this little cardboard box. Okay, cool. So I get the voltmeter, the battery checks out on the vehicle remote. I'm like, okay, well, I did the best I could, right? Okay, cool. So I go to put the meter back, and I'm looking at that little cardboard box again. It's very nondescript, small. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know. What's this box for? So I crack open the box. It's the replacement display. Brand spanking new. Anyway, so So I swapped out the displays, and now I have a new display on my e-bike with working switches. When I had bought that controller, it only came as a package deal with the controller and display together. I had to pick a display, so I was like, okay, let me get the same one. One of the advantages of using a consistent setup. You can swap out parts with plug and play. You know your parts, you know your part source, what replacements to use. You know the connectors it uses. It makes doing a spot repair much easier. So I could have gone out of my way to try to find a part source to get the controller by itself at that time, but I had a hunch, you know. I said, you know, it's gonna take like a month to ship the parts. Maybe I should just order it the way they offer it, with the controller and the display together. Something kind of like inside me nudged me to go ahead and order it as is. look back ahead of time, you know? Just situational awareness, know what's around you. Because you never know if you have to pull out in the middle of the lane. And if somebody's creeping in your blind spot, yeah, you'll do a look back and you'll know that somebody's there. So we had some high 70s days. We had like 80 degrees. Today was like 71, 72. It's wild. And we're in November. License plate was MPG LOL. So there's something interesting about this display that I didn't see in my original display, my original aftermarket display from the kit. This display has an extra wire, extra connector where the display wire plugs into the controller. So I don't know, that could be a headlight wire. There's no documentation, so I'll have to check the voltage on that. Now I had heard, I had read in forums that these displays normally would have a switchable accessory wire that its only purpose is for signaling, to switch a relay to turn on the headlights on or off. So I'll have to check all that with the voltmeter to figure all that out. It's the SW900A display. We've arrived to Main Street. Make a turn. So it's kind of sunny. It is getting close to golden hour. The sun is kind of hanging low. It's the fall. So you wind up with the sun in the eyes. of exaggerate your signaling when you're passing someone, because people won't slow down unless you make a signal that kind of obligates them to, you know, respect your space. I mean, normally you should be signaling anyway, but sadly, a lot of people just feel that they're not obligated unless you signal.